is Pokket again, and I'm here with Atli here at CCP Games. Can you tell our viewers what your job is?
I'm the creative director on Dust 514, based out of Shanghai, where bulk of our development team is.
And tell us a little bit about Dust 514.
Dust is a massively multiplayer first-person shooter that is uniquely connected to and set in the EVE universe. So EVE players, EVE Online players, and Dust 514 players can interact and collaborate.
Now, what are some of the difficulties of working with EVE Online and sort of making those blend together nicely? So I'm sure there's some.
Well, yeah, this is the first time anyone has done anything like this. So we've had some technical challenges, but it's mostly timescale. It's EVE is a slower paced game, and Dust is a first-person shooter where you run around with a gun and you kill people and stuff like that, shoot them in the face. So yeah, I would say the timescale. It's like how can we have these players, these different players, sync up effectively? So we've had to engineer systems around that, like asynchronous communication, exposing all of the EVE mail, all of the social institutions like corporations into the first-person shooter experience.
Now, I'd say definitely a lot of people are really excited about this because, like you said, it hasn't been done before. And in that regard, how are you going to bring in your FPS players that from other FPS games?
Well, I would like to note that if you want the 10-minute pick up and play, fun shooter experience, you can have that as well in what we call high-sec, high-security space, where you fight for the NPC corporations. This is all match-made, fair and balanced, where you find friends and stuff like that. But then you can kind of choose how deep you go down the rabbit hole, like how joining a corporation and starting to fight with them for more meaningful goals, venturing out into the wilderness and engrossing yourself into the whole subterfuge and the metagame and stuff like that. But as a typical FPS player, you may only want, or you may want to start with something familiar, the 10-minute play, that kind of stuff.
Oh, certainly.
And it's also free.
That is a very important feature. It is free. Now, do you think at the moment, because there's a lot of companies come out with the MMOFPS, do you think that there is a market for the MMOFPS crowd?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's the natural trend.
It's a natural trend, yes. Maybe that's why it's so popular right now. But so, could you name some of the things that EVE players and Dust players will be doing together?
Yeah. So, well, it ranges from simply being part of the same universe, and then communicating, belonging to the same corporations or our version of guilds, to actual direct minute-by-minute interaction through orbital bombardment and orbital artillery, where EVE players can, kill Dust players and vice versa. Dust players can kill EVE players.
Well, that's going to be amazing to be on the field and then you get killed.
Yeah.
So that'll certainly be a lot of fun. Now, is there anything that you personally are just super excited about, and just a feature that you are, in love with in Dust?
Oof, that's difficult. The fitting system, all of the customization possibilities that you can have, fitting your drop suit or fitting your vehicle. We've adapted that from EVE Online, so it's familiar to people that know EVE. Streamlined and accessible, of course, it's on console. But yeah, the range of options, the thousands of items, the countless possibilities of fits and different roles that you kind of portray yourself on the battlefield, that is, in my mind, the coolest aspect of the game. It's being able to kind of express yourself through a gun, or a particular flavor of a gun.
That's going to be part of progression as well, I imagine.
Yeah. So we have speaking of progression, we have a skill system very similar to EVE's skill system, which is like a passive accrual of skill point type system, but with a twist. We have active skilling as well. The nature of the game, it being a first-person shooter and more fast-paced, we want to reward people for doing good on the battlefield. So they will gain some skill points that way as well, and then they spend those skill points on skills that unlock use of items and more powerful and unique items.
Now, is there anything that you want to tell our viewers about the game specifically, or?
Well, we're having a lot of fun internally, and we encourage you guys to check it out. I mean, meet us on the battlefield in the beta.
Oh, I will certainly be there shooting people.
Yes.
So, well, thank you so much.
We'll shoot people together.
Oh, well, what if we shoot each other?
That's okay.
Okay
as well.
So, well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
No problem. Thank you.
Very excited.